Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. That's the question, isn't it? How much time do we have left? When is SHTF going to hit us right square in the face? When are we going to go to the stores and see nothing but panic shoppers and empty shelves? Once again, I will say, as I have often said, I do not have an invisible crystal ball here. You can look around my house, you'll find that there is nothing here that can predict the future any more than what you can predict the future-wise out there. With that said, we see a lot of trends. We see a lot of convergences that are coming in. And it's just like, never before have I seen the situation of the world such that we could have a global collapse triggered by so many different things. And it's like any one of those things really going off is going to trigger everything else. One thing after the next. It's just a stack of dominoes, and the question is which one's going to fall over first. But it's going to take them all else with it. We need to keep preparing. We have been so blessed by having more time to prepare. Did I think that things would hold on for this long? No. No, I thought things were really going to come down this winter. That's the truth. And I am so glad that I have 2 cords of wood sitting out on in my yard, getting stacked up, that I'm going to have for this winter, in addition to other heating measures that I have stockpiled here at the house. I am so grateful that I have been able to really expand a lot of things that I have, so that I'm going to be able to help a whole lot more people. I'm going to be able to live here in a lot more comfort than what I would have had to go through last year. So hopefully you guys have been doing the same thing and things have been swinging in the right direction for you guys. Now, I know from reading the comments and such like that, and some of the emails you guys have sent me, some of you guys are really struggling out there. Some of you have already lost your jobs and you can't find a replacement job. Some of you have already lost your homes. And this is a hard time. And so for some people, it's like, when will it happen? And for some of you, you're already at a place where saying, it already has happened for me. And I don't know what to tell you other than hard times are here and they will get harder. I've said before that the collapse is already here. We're already living in it. When does it really happen? There's not going to be a bulletin that's put out that the collapse has now started. People didn't recognize the Great Depression or other events like that until they looked back on it. They knew times were hard, but they just tried to muddle through as best they could. And that's what we all are going to need to do in the days ahead. The more preparation that you take now, the easier it's going to be to get through the system. Just on Amazon Prime Day yesterday, I was able to order a few more solar panels, a few cheap solar panels, and I'm just very glad that my Amazon Prime credit card, has a 6% cash back on Prime Day. That's very nice, and I was able to get some decent deals on solar panels. I'm mostly buying used panels. Which is from like the Amazon warehouse. So somebody gets the panel and then they return it and they damage the packaging. Amazon will slash the price 15-20% and then sell it off as used, which is great by me. I mean, as long as everything still works, I'm tickled to death to get it for cheaper. So getting some panels for $70 to $75 a piece is, for 100 watts, is good for me. Do what you can every day, making steps. If you do not have any cash available, there's so much you can do still. There's so much you can do. You can do some things on the side to get more cash to buy preps, that's for sure. Whether it's a second job or whether it's a small home-based business or something like that. If you want to get into getting into trading with other people, you know, whether that's trading some of your garden produce. Some of you have already gotten to the point where you produce enough in your garden that you're able to go to farmers markets and sell some of it, which is really cool. I was looking into that seriously before this whole channel kind of took off and has consumed most of my attention. I was getting ready to scale up my microgreens. Behind these panels right here is my big rack that you've seen before in other videos, where I have had my grow lights all set up so that I could do microgreens en masse down here in the basement of my house. So that's you know, something I was getting ready to do. I was planning on scaling up microgreens, and then I was planning on scaling up my garden to grow lettuces, basically. So I was going to sell candles, microgreens, and lettuce, basically at farmers markets. You know, those kind of things would give me enough to sell at the table, and the numbers looked very good for making a decent profit. Now I'm close enough to a city of Pittsburgh that there's a bunch of farmers markets that I could do that at, and there's enough people with money to buy microgreens and other healthy thingamajiggers. There's just so many different business opportunities out there for you to localize things. That's how we're moving away from globalization towards localization. Things being produced closer to you. And so thinking about what you can produce for the people around you that they are buying from very far away, and they're having a hard time finding those things. So whether that's parts, if you can do machinery, if you can make parts that people need critically, that's something. So working on those business side things, but then also there's just so many different things that you can do to prepare building those relationship networks. That doesn't really take money. I mean, you can build that with just your time and your energy investment, right? So much with your gardening is more of a time thing. Animals, raising animals. I looked into getting rabbits and breeding rabbits, and then selling rabbit setups to, you know, getting into California or New Zealand rabbits and breeding them and selling breeding pairs and such like that to people and helping them get set up to do that. So that would have taken a large time investment as well and a big sharp learning curve, but there's good money in it. I know someone through someone else that was actually doing that professionally, and they made a bunch of money doing it. It's just they started making more money at their job, so they just kind of got out of it. So that's a very real possibility. So getting into things, I understand, requires you to have startup energy, startup time, and startup money to an extent, but some things require less of the money side, some require less on the time side. But looking for those opportunities out there to become more self-sufficient. But more of a side gig is going to help you in any kind of depression or a big recession type thing. If you lose your job, having a side gig to be able to fall back on is a big deal. Now, if things go really sideways, hopefully that side job that you have can also produce food for you. So like the rabbits or gardening and that kind of thing, you could be raising your own food that way. So that's really nice about that. But or candle making, you'll have lighting. Hopefully you can trade that to people who are growing food. So keep those thoughts in mind. I don't know how much longer we have. Honestly, it could happen any day right now. If things in Europe suddenly pop off, we are in a 9-day countdown to the end of the Nord Stream 1 shutdown. We are, I think, like 4 or 5 days away from a potential railroad strike across the United States. We already have we have a lot of things going on right now. Any one of them could really trigger a much, much more serious event. Please keep your eyes out for what's happening, but keep your hands busy with the things that you need to be done. There are many opportunities to make money in the United States and other countries still. Get with people who are making money and see what you can do. Get online, look for opportunities. Be very suspicious of any opportunity that's put out there, and really do the numbers yourself to make sure that it's really profitable and that you can really actually make a living doing it. or at least a side business doing it. A lot of things out there to do, but you need to jump on it and keep getting the things done. Hopefully this is an encouragement to you. Don't slack off. Don't start saying it's 6 months out or 10 months out or whatever, and I can take a little bit of a break now. Folks, winter is coming up soon. It's going to start getting cold out again. Do you have heating lined up? If they're having trouble keeping the power on during heat waves, are they going to have the power have trouble keeping the power on when there's extreme cold? That's a serious question out there, folks. Is the food going to keep moving? I don't know. Well, eventually it's going to stop. So will you be ready for that? All right, folks, if you like this video, you might want to check out this video right here. Otherwise, I will see you later. Steve Poplar, out.